living here is now unfortunately not very feasible for us. I got made redundant at 9 months pregnant, and yes, it can happen.
A big challenge, but it's the most rewarding thing. He would be very screwed without them.
He's never going to be happy.
Yeah, he's never going to do that. It was literally perfect.
I did not think I would find it so hard.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new video. What day is it in Vlogust?
Another day.
Another day in Vlogust. Welcome back. For today's video, we are going to be doing a very overdue Q&A.
Yeah, we're going to have a little catch up. Matt's just got back from work, and this time between him getting back at work about 6 and Bo going to bed at 7, we have never tried to film in this bracket, so we're just going to give it a good go. Anyway, I think we should just preface that if anybody for whatever reason is here for IVF in particular, as in the process, the ins and outs, costs, etc., that's probably going to be in another Q&A. Shall we begin?
First question, where's Bo?
Oh yeah, Bo's here.
Bo's there. You're going to hear him throughout this video. Bo, you want to say hi?
Go hiya.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just starting to learn how to wave. Okay, I'd say probably one of the most common questions that we've got, understandably, because we keep saying, oh, we're going to explain, is why are you moving and where are you moving? It's really hard to answer this without it being super long.
Not a simple answer.
But I would say, and obviously we want to be upfront and transparent, but there are also some details where there's so many nuances to it where we won't go into insane detail. But why are we moving? We don't really have a choice, I would say.
No. It
kind of tails on to where a lot of other questions have come through around what happened with Emma being made redundant, because I never really said anything, and then I kind of just like dropped it on a story once. Not that loads of people see it, but they were kind of like,
wait, what?
Wait, what? So why are you moving? Living here is now unfortunately not very feasible for us, and we need some time to reset and some breathing space, which is why where we are moving is actually back home with my parents for a little while. And yeah, I wouldn't say it's a positive choice. It's not one that we actively wanted to do, and unfortunately it's not one that's like, yay, we're selling our flat to buy a house, or to, you know, it's not got that level of excitement to it.
Yeah, it's not an upgrade. No offence to your mum and dad, obviously. But it all kind of stems from obviously Emma being made redundant, and then, you know, we've had to basically live off our savings to support the last 9 months,
which were substantially hit. Don't regret a second of it.
That
our
little
little
bugger.
Angel. But IVF cost us a lot of money, which we never ever foresaw our savings being used for that, but
worth it.
So
yeah, we knew we got to kind of now. And the other thing to say is that the cost of our place, we're in a shared ownership, we own 40%, so we pay mortgage, we pay rent, we pay service charge. Our mortgage has increased dramatically over the last couple of years, our rent's gone up, our service charge has gone up. We just can't afford it.
Yeah.
Can't afford it, especially not on one person's salary. And with our savings, we knew we were going to get to a point where we had no choice.
And I think this leads quite nicely into another question of, is Emma going back to work? And yes, I am actively looking at the moment, and I think a lot of people might be like, well, why don't you just get a job so you can stay where you are? We've navigated and explored a lot of options. Where we are at now, in order for me to, with all the different things about childcare and funded hours, etc., I could, and I have been looking for a job, I could get a job now at the moment that would just pay to potentially cover some of Bo's
that would be all of it.
His childcare, which he can't even get anywhere because the wait lists are crazy, and we aren't in a position where, you know, we have family members that can watch him full time or consistently.
Even part-time.
So
yeah, essentially, if Emma went to work now, which, you know, we still something that you're trying to do. All of Emma's income would go towards Bo's childcare, so it actually wouldn't help us in the housing situation.
the housing situation and still rely solely on Matt's salary, which we can't do, and then I would be away from Bo.
We need to live.
And we need,
and
so
eat food.
I feel like we're proper out on ourselves here, but I just think it's good to be honest, because this is our reality, you know. This is what happens, and not, you know, we don't have excessive amounts of money from family sat there or available, you know. This is us just really trying to make do, and unfortunately we've really met our absolute limit of being able to make it do here. We will be moving back home for a little bit, and then,
which by the way is not like, I think for a lot of people that's like, oh my god, how can you, like, we love them. We're so lucky. Mum and Dad, you know, we love spending time with them. We've lived with them before.
Yeah, we loved it.
It's not like a crap, no. Like, you know, it's like, it's good. It's not,
a very harmonious household, isn't it? It's more the fact of, you know, there's so many pros to it, and that's what we're trying to really sit in. That, you know, imagine they get to see Bo every day. We've got a crazy dog moving in with us as well.
It's not like
it's not
a
doom
lot
and
of
gloom.
Other in-laws and situations like that. It's not like that. So like,
it probably, even though we said this last time, it was the last time we'll live with them, but this really will probably be the last time.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. They're probably thinking, bloody hell. Probably.
Not again. It's taken a while for us to get there, but we are really seeing the positives of the flexibility that plays into our upcoming plans. And we have the most important things, and we are just gonna roll with it. Yeah. So
we're good.
We're good. We're good. What happened with Emma's job? Maybe we've said, I don't know how much I can really go into too much detail. It's really not like a huge big thing, but there are obviously just some intricacies that, to be honest, I wouldn't really want to share anyway. I think
not worth it.
It's beside the point. But I had the rug swept out from underneath me is something that I will wholeheartedly say. I was heavily pregnant, and unfortunately, and had everything lined up, including my return to work date, and a matter of days before we were going on maternity leave, it was announced that I was at risk of being made redundant, along with a high percentage of the workforce. So that period of time was quite stressful, actually, and upsetting, and I felt really robbed of a lot of things. But as soon as little one decided to come 3 weeks early, we just absolutely dove into him, didn't we? I did have to take a few meetings when he'd been born, which now looking back is actually mental that we did that. Yeah. But we were in the depths of solicitors and all the options, and we could have proceeded and escalated things, but it would have been at an incredible cost and an incredible mental and emotional cost.
And a risk, a massive risk.
And we weren't willing to waste or sacrifice that time with Bo having just been born. So I got made redundant at 9 months pregnant, and yes, it can happen.
It's not illegal.
It can happen.
Everyone says that.
Everyone says that. I thought they can do that. Yeah, me too. Me too, bro. Trust me.
Hopefully one day they'll make that so that can't happen.
I think so. There are additional order protection.
Yeah, there are lots. We went through all that.
We went through all that. So and there are a lot of places that support you. So that's what happened, unfortunately. Yeah. How's having a baby after IVF? I know we said we would talk about IVF in another video, but should that one be the other one?
No, because I suppose after the IVF, it's just a little caveat.
Yeah.
How's having a baby? Amazing. After IVF, I don't know. I mean, we'll never know what the difference is, right? We can't tell you what it's like, but I'm sure every parent feels like this, but we feel just truly blessed for Bo every day. Yeah. And, you know, I don't know if there's we wanted him so much that's made it so much, you know, amazing for us. Yeah. Who knows? I don't know. But all I can say is that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
We feel so lucky for him.
And I'm sure it is, I'm sure it's the same.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you got there. But I think we are still processing the journey to him. But we've just been focusing on him. So the fact that it was through IVF is a blip compared to just him.
The outcome. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I wonder. There's obviously a deep, just like thankfulness for him.
Yeah, we feel very, very grateful.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Parenthood is tough. It's really tough. It will challenge you in
It's not all sunshine and rainbows as well. I think especially online it can really fool you. And even if you have gone through a journey to get there, please don't feel guilty if you have days where it feels like it's a lot. Because I've definitely had that. We both have. Where
100%.
You're almost like, am I allowed to feel something negative when we wanted him so much and longed for him? Yes. You can feel whatever you feel. Because
it is hard. It really is hard. It's a big challenge, but it's the most rewarding thing you'll ever do. Honestly, I think so.
And he's bloody cute, man.
He's cute, and you're freaking massive, dude.
He's a big boy. Will you carry on YouTube/Instagram when you get a new job? You know, I don't know what life will throw at us, really. YouTube and anything like that was always a hobby that thankfully turned into sort of a side thing, and then priorities sort of shifted and we weren't able to invest as much time into it as we would like. But I'd like to think that we'll carry on regardless. We did it both when we were working full-time before, so...
I think it's something we've always enjoyed doing.
We'll do it for as long as we enjoy it.
Yes,
is that fair?
That's what we've always said.
We've always said that. What advice would you give to someone who's due a boy that you wish you knew before Beau? I don't know, that's a really hard one.
Specifically for a boy?
Yeah, I don't know. That's really...
I don't know, really.
What do we wish we had been told?
I think it would be that first few weeks or like first couple of months to really just enjoy as much of it as you can. And I know people did kind of say that to us, but it's really hard because...
When you're in the trenches.
When you're like... When I look back, actually, really enjoyed it. But I think, especially having our first baby, you just want to fix things for them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, because Beau was kind of refluxy and a bit gassy, and everyone was a bit colicky, and and it was always just like, let's try this and this and that and that.
Impicol, then co-leaf, and then this, and then osteopath, and blah, blah, blah. And some of these things really do work for people, but if we're blessed with another child, I can see us being a bit more relaxed about it.
It's got to be like, just settle into it, like, and you know that it's just a phase. Whereas I know there were periods where it was like 2 or 3 weeks, and you're like,
this is forever.
He's gonna have like gas forever.
Yeah, he's never gonna be happy.
Yeah, he's never gonna
say that.
This.
We were like, oh my god, we always thought we'd have a really happy baby,
and now he's so happy.
And now he's so happy. So yeah, I would say, it really does go as quick as people say. What marathon are you running? I am running the Ely Runfest Marathon, October.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. How did you fund your maternity break after being made redundant? I guess it's not really a maternity break, but just absolutely rinsing our savings.
And
your job.
My job. And lots of support as well from our amazing families.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
We would be... very screwed without them.
What's been your favourite memory with Beau so far?
Gosh.
Oh my gosh.
For us, we went on a honeymoon to Bali, and it was amazing.
It was.
Sorry, Beau's just having the poo. For me, our trip to Bali was just amazing with Beau.
Yeah.
He was like in just amazing mood the whole time. It was just like a bloody dream, man. It was like, if you could, in your wildest dreams, imagine taking how old was he? 5 months?
5 months.
5 months.
Yeah.
Taking a 5-month-old to Southeast Asia, it was literally perfect.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? In fact, when we landed home is when I said to you, now I can say that was a perfect trip. Because I didn't want to jinx it. It was the best trip. I could not have faulted it at all. So I think that whole trip, the wedding and the trip, like him at being at the wedding and then the whole trip. But to be honest with you, I know it sounds cheesy, but there are moments every single day that make it like the best moments with him. So there's been a lot of questions around shared ownership. I don't know how we can kind of footnote it, but basically people are asking, how does it work with shared ownership? So you essentially own a share and a housing association normally owns the other share. That's how that works. Other than that, it's pretty much you kind of own your home. It's considered your home. It's not like renting in the sense that you can't do things to it, XYZ, but there are certain, like when we got stuff done in the bathroom, for example, we needed to get approval from the housing association because they essentially own it as well.
Yeah, so they're part owner with you, and then you pay them rent for their share. So we own 40%, and then we pay 60% of the rent.
That's just us, though.
That's just us.
You can own different percentages.
Yeah.
I think 35 tends to be the minimum, but it does change from housing association to housing association. And then how it works essentially in the stage that we're in now is, again, on the surface it looks fairly similar, but you are just selling
We're just selling our share.
Yeah. So whoever buys it either buys our share, or they can. There's a thing called staircasing, where you can purchase more percentage of the property if you would like. So then you pay less rent, and then depending on your mortgage situation or your deposit, that's how that works.
I mean, that's the thing. If you're trying to get into that sort of market or on the property ladder, if you just need a deposit of your share, it's significantly less.
That's why we were able to.
Yeah, that's why you don't need a huge deposit.
Yeah.
You just need a deposit for your share. So that's why you get on the ladder. Hopefully then you're in a position where you can staircase up, you own the full property, then sell it, you can sell it for a profit.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much how it works.
What happens with your breastfeeding journey? Sorry it didn't go how you wanted. Thank you. I don't know, how do you even start? There's so much to say around it.
Yeah.
Breastfeeding for me was one of the biggest surprises of postpartum in the sense of how difficult it was. I did foresee it being a big chunk of the journey. So I would say it hit me even harder because I was so passionate personally about breastfeeding, and from day dot really it was pretty difficult. My supply was
up and down.
It really couldn't keep up with Beau's demand. He was a very, very lazy feeder, so he would fall asleep. And I've learned a lot as well, that a lot of it could have been not fixed, but it could have been
could have been different. You could have done things differently.
Like, could I have pumped more when he was, because he started having bottles straight away, because we always wanted Matt to be able to give him bottles and family members to give him bottles, but I wouldn't always pump when we did that. His latch was really bad, he had tongue tie, his feeding was just not, he wasn't getting enough milk from me.
And he like you say, he was lazy.
And then also he just wanted the bottle because it was easier and it was quicker and there was more milk there. And I know when you pump, it's not always a true reflection of how much milk your baby could get, because they say, it's artificial, it's plastic, it's not the same. But I was using hospital grade pumps. I think I tried 3 or 4 other pumps on top of that across time. I was getting advice from health visitors. I went to the breastfeeding specialist, and it just never really fell into place for us. So we ended up triple feeding. So I was pumping, I was trying to breastfeed, and then we were also formula. It just felt like a losing battle. It was just constant.
Really tough. I don't think we weren't prepared. Me too, for how difficult breastfeeding is, and that you need to. I didn't think that would be the thing that would be like the main stressor.
No, we didn't really, did we? If we're being honest, we were just quite like. Actually, when I look back, I really felt like I failed, didn't I?
Definitely.
Because my body wasn't doing what it was meant to do, and it brought back a lot for me with our journey to Beau and IVF and stuff like that. Just like anything, comparison is really the thief of joy. When you see all this stuff on social media and people just pouring out blooming litres of breast milk.
Though, we did have to stop, because both of our social feeds were just full of like breastfeeding or
and I would get
do
like,
this.
20 mil from pumping for
half an hour
with a hospital grade one. And I did, the breastfeeding specialist did say to me, she was like, we can put all these things in place. He went to a cranial osteopath to see if his jaw was tight. He got his tongue tie clipped. We did all of I was on like a pumping and feeding schedule laid out by them, and she said, sometimes it just will not work, and that's not your fault. And I remember just being in tears, just being like, I'm meant to be able to feed my baby. And she was actually brilliant, because she was like, look at him, he's perfectly fine. You're giving him some breast milk and he's having formula and he's perfectly healthy. And then it got to the point where towards the end, of our breastfeeding journey, we got to about 5 months. It was just after the wedding, wasn't it? So nearly 6 months. It was just the morning feed. We would have a breastfeed, and then the rest of the day was formula. And actually, that was a really beautiful time. I loved those morning feeds. Like the morning of the wedding, he was like breastfeeding, and then the rest of the day bottles. But the outcome was completely fine and positive. He's fine. He's always been healthy. He's always been a healthy weight. I think a lot of why it didn't go well and didn't feel well was just because of the hope that I had.
Yeah. Do you think you would want to breastfeed any of our
100%,
hopefully future children?
100%. Yeah, I think
with so much more knowledge and understanding and a much more realistic expectation of what could happen,
and giving myself a lot more grace. I'd love some tips on how to support someone who is pregnant following a successful IVF, please. That's a really great question, and I think it's lovely that you're even asking that. I would say that from my experience, the feelings, the trauma, the anxiety and everything, and the excitement and all the positive stuff as well, but those not so positive feelings still exist, even though thankfully, you know, I felt pregnant, your friend is pregnant. People are quite quick to forget that those scars are still there. And also, you know, when people are like, oh, see, I told you you'd get there in the end, you know, that's so dismissive of what they might still be feeling in their journey now.
And I think it depends how far along your friend is, I guess, but I think during the pregnancy process there'll probably be an elevated sense of anxiety about that pregnancy. Because I think for me it was like, you know, the idea that Bo wouldn't come to term was just impossible for me to even consider. And that's the case for everybody, absolutely. But I think because of what had happened, that the idea of that ever happening was just too much for me to even comprehend.
Felt like unsurvivable.
It did, and I think there were times where it felt like that feeling, especially before that 12-week mark, that feeling could just be so overwhelming that you're just almost in a negative mindset about something that's meant to be really positive. It's just understanding where they are at with those feelings.
Don't be afraid to just be like, how can I support you? Do you know what? I'm an open door. If you do want someone to talk to, whatever it is, I'm here. All right, I think we maybe have time for one more, then we're going to put this one to bed. So what's the best and what's the hardest thing about parenthood?
I think the best thing is just that just all about him and seeing a person grow and develop and become a human being.
Yeah, he's just
like seeing something grow, seeing
he's this
human being. He's a little person
that we made and we brought into this world, and now he's just our everything. I think the best thing is just the reality of him. I don't know how else to answer that. I just think
just him,
and all the different moments that he brings, and the, you know, getting to know him. You do. It sounds really weird, but you do have to get to know your baby.
You do. And then they change. Every couple of weeks.
Have to learn.
Some mornings he wakes up and you're like, wait, what the hell? So that is a constant gift all the time.
Yeah, he is. That's exactly what. Like, he is just a gift.
Yeah.
He is. And then the hardest.
I don't know, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. You have to, you know, in the early days, or even, you know, when baby's not sleeping very well or they get sick, you know, it's a lot.
I think the emotional side of it for me, I have and am actively struggling with, just like not letting go, but each version of him, how quickly it comes and how quickly it goes. I think I knew that I would, you know, miss when he was small, and I would miss those stages, and every time I see him I say to him, God, you're so big, he's going to be so sick of me when he's older. I literally say it to him every single day. I never realised how deeply I was going to like grieve the smaller
baby Bo,
side of him. Like, even now, like, sometimes he doesn't want to be rocked anymore. He's just like, get off me, I want to go to sleep. It actually brings like
that is
tears
sad.
to me. Like, I love every version of him, but I did not think I would find it so hard how fast he is growing and changing. So yeah, I think we're going to call it there though, because we need to put this little one to bed.
Put baby to bed, and the camera is just getting too warm.
To explode. I don't know what's going on with it, honestly. Oh. Thank you so much for all your questions. I know, you know, not really giving full context of things, and especially in Vlogust, it's been like, oh, we're selling our home and all these things. So hopefully that answers some of your questions.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you guys sticking around, and hopefully you're enjoying Vlogust. Kirby, do you want to say hi? Yep.
Still got Kirby.
She's
chill,
crazy.
bro.
Honestly, her and Bo are crazy.
Couple of crazies.
Couple of crazies.
Thanks for watching, guys. We love you loads.
We will see you tomorrow.
Bye.